a poor, beaten boy from a forgotten Georgian town, a survivor of abuse, sickness, and humiliation. Who would rise to rule 1/6 of the entire planet? His name became a symbol of fear, a whisper in the dark, a shadow over millions. This is the complete story of Joseph Stalin. His rise, his terror, his power, and the twisted mind behind it all. Joseph Stalin was born Iosif Vissarionovich Jugashvili in 1878 in Gori, Georgia, a place of poverty, superstition, and violence. His father, Bessarion, was a shoemaker who drank heavily and beat his wife and son. Stalin grew up hearing screams, not lullabies. This early trauma planted the seeds of coldness and distrust that shaped his future. As a child, he suffered from smallpox, leaving his face scarred for life. He was bullied for his appearance, mocked, rejected, underestimated. This humiliation would stay with him forever, fueling a lifelong hunger for power and respect. Despite his hardships, Stalin was intelligent and ambitious. He won a scholarship to a religious seminary, a place meant to shape priests. But instead, it shaped a revolutionary. He read forbidden Marxist literature, organized secret groups, and challenged authority. In 1899, he was expelled. Some say for missing exams. Others say for spreading revolutionary ideas. Either way, the church lost a student and the revolution gained a future dictator. Well, after leaving the seminary, Stalin dove deep into underground Marxist movements. He became known for three things: his iron will, his strategic mind, and his ruthlessness. He planned robberies, including the famous 1907 Tiflis bank heist that filled Bolshevik pockets with millions. He operated under multiple nicknames, but one stuck forever: Stalin, meaning man of steel. Arrested multiple times, exiled to Siberia, escaping again and again. Stalin showed he could survive anything. While others debated ideology, Stalin mastered something far more dangerous: the art of power. He climbed the ranks by understanding people's weaknesses and exploiting them. When the 1917 revolution erupted, Stalin wasn't the loudest or the most brilliant, but he was loyal, efficient, and absolutely merciless. Lenin recognized this and appointed him to key roles. Stalin built networks, controlled appointments, and placed loyalists everywhere, quietly, invisibly. He constructed a foundation for future control. In 1922, he became General Secretary, a position most dismissed as boring paperwork. But Stalin knew better. He used it to fill the entire government with people who owed him everything. When Lenin fell ill, Stalin became the gatekeeper to his leader. He controlled who saw Lenin and what information reached him. By the time Lenin died in 1924, Stalin was already the spider in the center of the web. After Lenin's death, a brutal power struggle erupted. Most believed Trotsky, the brilliant intellectual and military hero, would lead the USSR. But Stalin played the long game. He portrayed himself as a simple, loyal worker. He formed temporary alliances, betrayed them, then formed new ones. He twisted words, forged connections, manipulated votes, and planted rumors. By 1927, Trotsky was expelled from the party. By 1929, exiled from the entire country. Stalin had eliminated the only real threat to his power. The mask came off, and the era of terror began. Once Stalin secured power, he launched massive changes across the Soviet Union. Industrialization. Factories exploded across the nation. Workers labored day and night. The Soviet Union modernized faster than any country in history. Collectivization. Every farm was forced into state control. Millions resisted and paid with their lives. Ukraine suffered the Holodomor, a man-made famine that killed millions. But the darkest chapter was the Great Purge. Stalin trusted no one. Friends, generals, ministers, ordinary citizens. Anyone could be labeled an enemy of the state. Show trials, executions, torture, informants on every street. A system built on fear. A society where loyalty meant nothing and betrayal meant survival. Stalin's paranoia nearly destroyed the USSR during World War II. He ignored warnings of a German invasion. And when Hitler attacked in 1941, millions died in the first months. But Stalin adapted. He relocated factories, mobilized entire cities, and pushed the Red Army to extremes. Brutal orders kept soldiers from retreating. Victory at Stalingrad broke the German army's spirit. By 1945, the Soviet Union stood victorious, but at the cost of nearly 27 million lives. After the war, Stalin's paranoia grew even worse. He launched new purges, fearing spies everywhere. He distrusted even his closest allies. His health declined, but his grip on power stayed firm until March 1953, when he suffered a stroke and died. Some say his guards waited hours before helping him, too terrified to disturb the dictator. So what shaped the mind of Joseph Stalin? 1. Childhood trauma, beatings, abuse, humiliation. These forged deep insecurity. 2. Obsession with control. Life taught him that control equals safety. Losing control meant death. 3. Paranoia. He believed betrayal was everywhere, so he struck first. Always. 4. Strategic intelligence. Not a genius like Trotsky, but a master of political manipulation, patient, calculating, and willing to destroy anyone. 5. Belief in destiny. Stalin saw himself as the architect of the Soviet future. In his mind, cruelty was justified if it created a stronger state, a dangerous mind built from fear, ambition, trauma, and absolute power. Stalin left behind a transformed Soviet Union, industrialized, victorious, and powerful, but soaked in blood. His story is a warning, a reminder of how a broken child can become a ruthless leader when power goes unchecked. If you want to explore more of history's most dangerous minds, make sure to subscribe, because this journey is just beginning.